SEO Fastlane. Would this be helpful to you? Often when I refer to SEO in one of my threads, I see people respond with all sorts of SEO-related questions. It seems there might be some interest on the subject. One option would be for me to start a progress thread where you can watch me over my shoulder as I generate wealth through SEO. Would that be helpful to you? But here's the deal, there is a ton of commitment on my part if I start a thread like that. I don't mind helping the community out, but I'll only do it if there's enough interest. Reply below if you want me to start a progress thread like that. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know SEO has changed completely over the last couple of years. Many have gotten out of the biz due to frustration and major losses. Technically, SEO violates the law of control. At any time, Google can create updates that cause sites to lose rankings. But what if I told you it is possible to control Google? Wait, what? Edit, it's not what you're thinking. I don't work at Google or make them do anything. But I do have a system in place to control losses and rankings. It's possible to create systems and processes to protect against algo updates. What if I told you that I have a system in place that allows me to re-rank penalized sites in as little as 14 to 30 days? Edit, it requires thinking out of the box and controlling your SEO. If I told you I have sites that never get impacted by major algo updates? Edit, but those sites can take years to build up to authority level. What if I told you SEO is easy today that it was a year ago? Would you believe me? It doesn't matter if you do or don't, it's true. SEO is no different than any other marketing channel. You have to tame it or it will tame you. You know why most people fail with SEO? They take shortcuts. They look for simple, easy solutions that result in penalties or ranking slaps. SEO is hard work, but can be extremely effective. Forget white hat, black hat, grey hat. What matters are results. Technically, any influencing the SERPs is at minimum grey hat. What I do is no different than what Google does on its own web properties. If you want to do smart SEO, watch what the sheriff does and follow. Let me just say, Google isn't so white hat. Did you know Google's been caught buying links? Did you know Google owns directly or indirectly hundreds of websites that practice shady SEO? Much worse than the stuff I do. Look, don't blame Google. They are in business to make money. Is it any surprise that since Google's attack on SEO, AdWords revenue has jumped drastically? Is it any surprise cost per click has doubled since 2012? It's just basic math. The more difficult they make SEO, the more businesses will rely on ads. The more advertisers that compete, the more costs are driven up. Cha-ching. Google recently created an update that penalizes sites that use too many ads above the fold. Yet at the same time they loaded their search results with 10 ads to 3 organic listings. Google is infamous for its doublespeak, but don't fault them. They're in business to make money. They don't care about you or your sites. They have zero interest in helping you rank organically. They care about your money, not your sites. Now that I've got that out of the way, if you still think SEO is dead or that there is no way to control it, then exit this thread because I failed to get the message across, and I suck. For the rest, I've created million-dollar businesses with SEO and I'm up for a new challenge. Maybe it will be fun. Do you want me to start an SEO progress thread? It would be designed to show you how SEO can be used as a fast lane mechanism for your business. If so, reply below and tell me why and what you hope to learn from it. If you have no interest in this, do nothing, it will save me some headache. My site is 15 plus years old and competing with sites close to that age as well on keywords with 20 million search results. So getting any movement is like turning an aircraft carrier around, lots of time and effort. I am also rebuilding my thousands of page website, and there is some fear in breaking all my SEO in the transition. So my goal is to maintain my rankings and move the majority of my second page rankings to the top 4 positions. Hey Spaxton 1, as I'm really new to this, with no website whatsoever as well. I think this information would be beneficial for myself as of how highly important and essential this would be for any online business. I would greatly appreciate this information. Jez. Spaxton 1, I'm sure you have interesting stories to tell about the SEO stuff, but what I am 100% sure is that you are an awesome writer. All your stuff is gold. But this would be the icing on the cake for me. I'm still brewing on my idea read. Finding physical need, instead of just ideas, but marketing my platform and using SEO seems the most daunting task for me. I would love it if you would come up with such a progress thread. I would just want to learn how to start. I know that I could start by my own and learn it the hard way, but seeing someone experienced start off in the right direction might help me and others a lot. For those who have absolutely no experience in SEO and marketing or whatsoever. For all your contribution, all my rep goes to you. It's all I can do. For now. Sounds super cool. Great offer on your part. I am 100% for it. I'm always willing to learn. Definitely in on this. In it to learn it. Would be awesome to read. Thanks. Spaxton, personally I've given up on trying to keep up with the SEO game. I still do the basic on-page stuff with keywords in headings, meta descriptions irrelevant nowadays isn't it? Etc. And of course links in are always nice, but I don't try to get them for the sake of SEO. Since it's such a changing landscape I could never figure out how to get a method down to make reasonable gains in the big G. Thus, I started focusing on learning paid traffic recently, which I plan to continue with. So my why would I want you to start an SEO progress thread is easily because I get lost in the details and could use the guidance. I'd be hoping to learn some kind of concrete system as you supposedly have. Pretty simple in the truth of it. So basically you mean that we can control the matrix? You want to show us how deep the rabbit hole goes? Alrighty then. Please show us proof of a successful re-rank without compromising your sites. I smell BS. Edit. Okay, forget it, already found my answer. People just have to buy a monthly package from your private, exclusive network, based on 28 secrets. I wonder why I saw this coming. You might want to set non-index on your sales page if you're serious about not advertising this network publicly. Only opened to select few blah blah. Edit 2: the first and second result for your main business company name are from. Why don't you outrank them to protect your $1 million business if you're supposedly so good at SEO? Good luck though, maybe I'm wrong. All in. Please do start an SEO progress thread. There's my vote, I'll definitely be following. Best of luck, Gravy. Are you going to be doing some sort of churn and burn method? If so, I am in. Don't know if this is true and hope it's not, but literally sent a couple folks a message saying I could see this coming a couple days ago. Well then, that escalated quickly. I want to learn more about SEO because I have a site that I have been trying everything to get ranked high with big G. Ranking high would increase traffic and increase sales. Looking at the links of the top sites for the keywords I am targeting, I can see a lot of things that aren't natural, so I know it's possible. I will be watching this site like a hawk. Let's do it. This would be very helpful info for me, since I'm currently in the process of promoting my site. If a site has a manual penalty applied to it, the only way to get around it is to contact Google with a reconsideration request. So yeah. If you can remove links fast enough in 14 to 30 days, submit a reconsideration, and get a response from Google, then it's possible. other than that it is an ''t. System equals have a private high PR blog network so links can be controlled. Not rocket science and definitely not a secret. You're absolutely right. I'm 100% with you on this. There's a ton of BS out there and I appreciate the skepticism. In SEO, people are so full of crap right now that anyone in the SEO business better have their guard up. I refer to it as drinking the Kool-Aid. We're both still on the same page. Let's talk via PM. I'll be glad to continue this discussion with you. All I ask is let's not turn this into a witch hunt. It's not fair to me or the forum. Lol, you found that site. But I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. For those of you trying to figure out what he's referring to, based on his language it appears he found a SEO service I started 2 years ago. It was a private network that offered packages to members. That service was launched as a solution to Google's Penguin update which turned SEO upside down. It solved that problem. But, that was 2 years ago and no longer applies to today's SEO. 2 years is light years in the SEO world. That network wasn't advertised, it was too risky. What Thig doesn't know is that prior to that site I had another one that was based off of lower quality HTML homepage backlink sites. I admit, the original service was a shortcut and I paid the price. That entire network got indexed, and I lost over $60,000 worth of PR domains. It sucked. I learned another hard life lesson. By the way, that service from 2 years ago sold out in days and it generated about $250,000 in revenue. Not bad for a residual business that was 97% automated. As for not indexing the non-advertised network, a valid question, but an incorrect assumption. I considered setting the site to no index, but plenty of members accessed the site by typing the name in Google, which would have hurt usability and probably hurt referrals. That service is still profitable, but those using it have switched over to targeting Bing or Yahoo. No business I own has scam book listings ranking number 1 and number 2 for its company name. In large businesses, negative reviews are sometimes unavoidable. There's only one scam book review I'm aware of, but that was from 2011, which by the way we have intentionally outranked by promoting our A+BBB listing, Facebook page, news story, and a press release, but that one's still on page 2. That business you're referring to is very well known within our industry. It helps thousands, and could be reasonably sold today for a few million. You don't create a business like that overnight. Check the Hoyes, it's been around for over 8 years and is highly successful. I'd be more than happy to compare who's bigger if that's the game you want to play. In all fairness to me, I'm using my real name and not hiding behind a generic user ID. I'd be more than happy to openly discuss your businesses now. Care to share? I'm guessing that controlling Google, while it sounds exciting, isn't easy at all. That being said, I'd follow. I'm guessing that controlling Google, while it sounds exciting, isn't possible at all. That being said, I'd say everyone claiming otherwise is full of BS. It's totally possible. Just join my VIP secret network for 3 easy payments of $997. Or we can do a one-on-one private Google domination coaching session for $4,997. Oh. Very interested in reading more. I'm all for it. I think that your approach may be quite surprising and offer some unthought of value to many. True, nothing worthwhile is easy. Yep, I'm full of BS. Controlling Google is a matter of understanding how algos work. Algos are nothing more than a math equation. If you want to control a math equation, it's a matter of understanding the equation. Master this and you master the SERPs. Looks like the witch hunt is on. It's okay, you can put down the pitchforks. I laugh how people are so closed-minded. Are you really that worried I'm going to spend hours upon hours working on an SEO progress thread just so I can sell you a service? Last I checked, self-promotion is prohibited on this forum. Yeah, I take offense to your accusations. Did you ever think that maybe my secret plan is to help others and not focus on myself? I've put a lot of time into this forum already, and I try to be helpful. I wish more people were generous with their time. I'm sure I could learn a lot from you too. Not worried or close-minded, but your up put me in a time machine back to 2010 on the Warrior Forum. I liked your intro post. However, it is pretty clear after reading a few more what your intentions are or were. This forum is really high quality and self-hype sticks out like a sore thumb. Although I'm not a heavy hitter here, I feel I owe this forum something. The book played a big role in shifting my business strategy and led to a big last year, and a bigger one so far this year. I consider myself an expert on SEO, so I felt the need to jump in before anyone followed blindly. There are numerous X's in your op, nobody is witch hunting, you're selling, period. I just think guru coaching or link selling SEO BS equals ZZZZZZZZZZZ, save that stuff for the Warrior Forum where people eat up that BS. PSH, my system is way simpler, you just buy out Google. Then you can control your rankings. That'll be $39, everyone. Actually, the guy is very understanding and helpful. I think you are being unfair and spoiling an opportunity for other guys to learn because of your initial reservations. Don't be so quick to judge. He seems like a really genuine guy, please don't be a dick to him. It takes a while to get an actual understanding of people around here, and due to the value he can offer, go easy on him and let him give. I'll say it a third time, he seems like a really good guy. And he is providing value, which is exactly what should be encouraged. Sent you some reps, Paxton. That wasn't sent because I was persuaded by his hype, but because I actually believe in the guy. I'd love to see a SEO progress post, even if it's just notes, but that's up to Paxton and other posters and if they can deal with his giving attitude without getting unduly alarmed. And one more time, he's a cool guy. Sold. Paxton, you have one guy willing to buy some backlinks off of you. That you're drinking the Kool-Aid. SEO is a complete theory, it isn't a hardened in stone thing. There aren't secrets. And it damn well shouldn't be anyone's sole business strategy. The magic formula to SEO is links plus authority equals ranking, period. You can take this formula and run with it, do whatever to fit your business strategy, but that is the 100% guaranteed formula to SEO. Natural, unnatural, kind of natural, links plus authority equals ranking, period. Everything else is just hypey mental masturbation and gurus selling Kool-Aid. Things to avoid: if you buy public PR link packages, you will sooner or later get canned. If you blast your site with spammy links, you will sooner or later get canned. If you use too much anchor text, you will sooner or later get canned. Ignore Google propaganda and stay off of the Warrior Forum. It would be easy for Paxton or anyone to put up a progress thread and rank a site. Set up a site and point some PR links from his network, very easy. 90% of people don't realize how easy it is because they're too lazy or afraid to go try something and too busy buying shit off of gurus. A YouTube video would be even easier. Go ahead and film a YouTube video, include your main KW in the title, buy a few thousand views and then blast it with a few hundred paid high PR links. It will be on the first page in no time. Links plus authority equals ranking, period. Everything else is just hype. Edit, for the record, I'm not against selling SEO services, links, consulting, WE. In a gold rush, sell shovels, right? Just annoying to see it on here disguised as genuine help. I appreciate that you take time out of your day to post on this forum, but let's keep it real. You can't control Google, otherwise you would be worth billions by now. You can make more or less educated guesses about what might work by extensive testing. But don't tell me it's a matter of understanding algos. Ahem, not exactly. I just would like to see his progress thread and see his unique angle and style. What I've seen from him so far I've liked. I'm not a SEO kinda guy, but I can tell his thread would tell me a lot of things I might not ever know because I probably won't spend a lot of time there. I don't get why you have to speak over the guy. If he sells it in the thread, which he said he isn't going to do on the forum, then you can give him flack and it'd be helpful, but prejudging because you think it won't provide value for everyone is just putting your words in other guys' mouths for them because you've studied SEO. I'm happy to hear what both of you guys have to say on SEO, and I'm happy to ask my mentor after and have a chat about. There is no Kool-Aid drinking here. I just actually checked the guy out and find his contributions really very helpful. Maybe I look like a Kool-Aid guy cause I don't have experience with SEO, but I can assure you I do diligence on everything regarding my business. So if he does present something that I simply must jump on or whatever, that I'll actually just do a lot of homework. Since I've stated I'm willing to do homework if such a thing arises, that leaves just two guys' different opinions on SEO. One guy offering it, and the other guy not. I'd like to hear what he has to say, and I'm not gonna act all suspicious and ask for his soul in exchange for a little support. I don't see why you can't just fairly evaluate it based on the context that happens to be created after he has his say. Are SEO guys really that threatening? Maybe they are. I usually don't respond to them when they spam my email box, but hey, this guy, he has character. I'd like to see what he has got to say. No Kool-Aid required, just 2 ears, a brain, and a healthy let's hear it attitude. It's no biggie. I don't feel threatened by the guy. He's shown me otherwise so far. I already know your kind. You look for SEO shortcuts and claim to be an expert. Don't think your macho attitude and I know all mentality is going to fly around me. I have nothing against you, but you clearly do against me. Get your butt off the sidewalk and stop this lame trolling. It adds absolutely no value and is a waste. You're right, my intentions when coming to this forum were made clear. 1 To help people, 2 To network with other successful people. Please share with me which one of my posts are self-hype, because I have what you're talking about. My threads, found here. I lost 70,000 in advertising. This post is going to piss you off. You might be a slow laner if these 9 magic words will help you sell more, guaranteed. Wait. Miss this one thing, and you lose 50%. Let me get this straight. And the only post you've created is this one, so you claim to be an SEO expert but offer terrible advice. Your SEO advice is stuck on the sidewalk. Let me prove it. Serp King's advice from 1 month ago, it's a bunch of BS garbage about using shortcuts to rank. First, there's 2 problems here. 1 Per shot. Seriously? This speaks volumes. 2 Your domain suggestion violates Google's new EMD update which targets exact match domains. Oops, looks like someone forgot about the hummingbird update. Please don't just stick exact keywords in titles like that. Spam links, really? Please don't run out and buy links like that. It's 2014 now and this crap is so outdated. Terrible advice. You're right, that advice is about 2 years out of date. It's short-term shortcut. End of story. Not really Fastlane at all. Anyone can rank a parasite page. That doesn't take much skill. Based on your post, you are far from an SEO expert. See, I can be a jerk too. Your comments have been a colossal waste of time and provide no value. My advice to you would be to stop taking SEO shortcuts and your business will thrive. I'm not selling links, so get over yourself. Seriously? You're beyond annoying and can't seem to get past your sidewalk mindset. OMG, lol. The technique that I shared on the Insider forum is just a technique or trick. I wrote a disclaimer that it was just a trick. It was in a tip plus tricks thread. It absolutely is a shortcut or technique and it works solid for Amazon products, real products. I know this may be foreign territory for you. Anyone on the inside can check out the thread and confirm that you chopped up the posts and reapplied them to a different subject altogether. Did you even read the post? No, you just pulled it way out of context and manipulated it. Do you have a six-figure Amazon business? No. You're a guru that sells mental masturbation and links. You wouldn't know anything about 301s and product listings that leverage domain authority. You wouldn't know because it requires real work and trial plus error. Hummingbird equals more Google hype. Ignore. Gurus like you take this stuff and create ebooks about how to solve a problem that doesn't exist. Guru 101. P.S. I didn't even know about this update until months after it happened, too busy building real shit to read the Warrior Forum. My intro thread equals genuine actionable advice based on real experience, not mental masturbation. Do you do 7 figures per year selling real physical products? EMD, exact match domain equals more misleading Google hype. More BS that gurus latch onto to sell garbage. Every domain is an EMD, think about it, more hype guru stuff. Is still an EMD. Is still an EMD, every domain that exists is an EMD. I'll leave it at that. Those who want to drink the Kool-Aid have been warned anyway. Your presentation here is polished because you're a guru, it's what you do. But anyone that's been around will see through that. I don't know it all, not even close. I'm not good at PPC and not the best at writing copy. I have a lot to learn and hire great people to make up for what I don't know. However, I do know SEO inside out and your op is full of red flags. This isn't a personal attack, I just think it's lame to come on here and try to build a following so you can take advantage of entrepreneurs who don't understand the simplicity of SEO and sell them something, service or coaching or links or whatever. It's coming. Lame stuff. If I have to respond to you again, I'm invoicing you. Okay. I'll bite. Simmer down, gents. Let it walk us through the magic. I think you need a hug, so here it is. I'll leave it at that. No hard feelings. I get why you are so aggressive, but it's without merit. I'm actually not looking to focus on rankings and linking. Sure, that's a part of it. But what I'm thinking about doing is walking through the steps of growing from a business concept to implementation. Most people doing SEO get hung up on the rankings and fail to create a real business model. SEO has such a negative and nasty reputation, as you can see from some of the replies. Sure, it's earned every ounce of that reputation too. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can build up a legitimate business and create brands that work together to get from site concept to Fastlane. Instead of looking at just rankings, I'd rather focus on systems, procedures, and revenue. There's a big difference between just ranking a site versus building up a Fastlane business model. Can I take $10,000 and turn it into $500,000? How long will it take and what steps would be required? Anyway, this is kind of my thought process about this type of thread. I'd welcome any suggestions or responses as to what you would like to see. I think realistically we could create $1 million business in maybe 6 to 9 months. It won't be some overnight SEO hack to rank and tank. Instead, it will be a thought-out business model that can be replicated and repeated by the community. Thoughts? I think a progress thread would be good. You toned down the sales rhetoric in this post and cut out all the sale-easy copy, which allowed me to put my guard down. While I find a lot of value in your posts, I just don't like to feel that I'm being sold to, even if you aren't selling yet. Ambitious stuff. I like it. Almost no matter what your MFL method is, some degree of SEO knowledge will be useful. I think what rubbed some people the wrong way in this thread is your copy-like tone, which gets alarm bells ringing for a lot of us. I imagine you write a lot of sales copy, and it comes through in all your writing. I suggest you go for a more sober, transparent style in the progress thread, if and when it sees the light of day. Just a thought thread watched. I think this would be a great approach. Don't know why you are catching so much grief. You seem solid to me. Start a progress thread. It looks like you've got enough of us interested. If start selling and I don't like it, then I will simply not watch the thread. What are you waiting for? Start it. Thanks for providing value. This sounds like a great progress thread. Just start it and let's see how it progresses. It seems like you've generated enough interest from the forum that want to see you start it. What are you waiting for? Start it already. I don't understand all of the negative responses. You seem solid to me. If you start selling or generalizing too much, I would just quit watching or participating in thread. I appreciate and thank you for the value and your time. Let's get started. Hey everyone, especially those with SEO knowledge. If someone said to me that they could increase my conversions by 50%, I would not say bullshit, that's impossible, and then walk away. How are you going to learn new things that way? I would listen, analyze, ask questions, and then decide my course of action. You may not believe his claim based on your knowledge, and you may think you know more than him. But I for one would like to see his SEO thread, and I think you all should too. Then if you have any questions or points to debate, you can bring them up then. Why jump on him right now? You can't debate claims, you can only debate the validity of his SEO process and theories. I think your original post was kind of begging for the trolling and criticism that this thread has devolved into. I have no skin in the game either way. But when I read your title and original post, I thought, either start a thread to help others with their SEO, or don't. But this, I'll only do it if enough people beg me stuff. It sends out a mixed message. And lo and behold, you got a mixed response. I'll bite, but only if is provided. I'd like to hear what knowledge you have. I actually like some of the ops posts that he's been putting out on the forum. I'm open to hearing whatever he has to say. The reason why there has been so much negative response is because a lot of his posts has a very sales-ish vibe. It also weirds many out that he appears to be trying too hard to stack up rep bank by literally asking people to like plus transfer rep bank plus follow him. When you have a bunch of rep bank, people automatically view you as an authority figure and they tend to blindly follow you. I remember a few months back, Jack Edwards jokingly said that he was starting an MLM. People actually started inquiring about how they can join. WTF, haha. There isn't any proof to show that the op is selling anything though. Let the op speak his mind. Consider what he has to say, and draw your conclusions from there. You have to at least keep an open mind to anything if you wish to grow. I'm not going to lie. This thread has pushed me closer to doing a progress thread. My life is busy enough without all the drama. I'm not here trying to prove anything to anyone. In sincerity, I was seeing if this type of a thread would be helpful or not. Based on the responses, there is some interest, but there are also plenty who want to create drama. People insist on jumping to conclusions that are completely false. WTF. I definitely don't need the drama. I'm well beyond that stage in my life. There's little upside to me for dedicating time to a progress thread. The only small advantage would be to hold me accountable to push myself further faster. Other than that, why? So I can argue with a few people who insist on trying to discredit me or who are so worried about being tricked into buying something. PFFT, please. I appreciate the feedback from everyone. As for my writing style, yes, I get it. Sometimes it's a bit over the top, but that's just how I write. I can pick out a few people on this forum that have very unique styles too. If you hate my style, ignore it and move on. Also, for those wondering about the reputation thing, I actually challenged myself to get to $2,000. The plan was simple: try to provide content that is helpful and eventually you will hit the goal. Don't fault me because I'm ambitious and goal-oriented, it's just who I am. I'm a lover, not a hater. Today you guys knocked the wind out of me. But I'm a big boy. I'll pick up the pieces and move on. But please, let's tone down the drama. You are going to involve a biz model too? That sounds pretty sweet actually. Sometimes, you just have to do it, And on the other hand, sometimes you need a little help to think out a big project, and test the water. I don't know, if you feel you can manage the risk, and that you'll get feedback that is helpful and speeds your progress, then I think it is a win-win. Everything has positives and negatives, and really you just need to ask yourself what you think, or what your goals are, and if you believe it can be done to the standard you want, then commit to it, or a small portion of it, or altered plan. It's a tough crowd, but there are a lot of decent guys here, and I think if awkward stuff gets swept out of the way, they are totally capable of giving a robust response. It's not 100%, but it's better than a coin flip, so it comes down to your goals, and how you can frame it. Either way, I know you'll post some good stuff, so I 100% understand if you want to rule out any potential drama. Since I joined this forum, I learned that it's very important to gauge people's interest in something before you waste time and or money on it. And that's exactly what he is doing. He didn't ask anybody to beg, he just asked if there's any interest before he put in his time to open the thread. Come on guys, what the hell? Why are you so quick to jump to conclusions? In other words, until he posts a link to a product saying buy this now. 1. He is just someone with a lot of experience willing to share his knowledge, and some of you are giving him shit. I've read almost every post Spaxton has made, and he really does provide value and helpful information. I personally would listen closely to whatever he has to say and share, so yes, I am also interested in a progress thread. I honestly hope you do decide to open one. But after seeing some responses here, I understand if you don't and wouldn't blame you one bit. Geez, I don't understand why you guys had to go out and start attacking the guy. If he can do what he says he can do and has some insight he can share with all of us, then let him do it. Serpking, you obviously don't know who this man is or what he is capable of. As he stated above, he has provided value to this forum numerous times. You not so much, so I don't really get where you get off putting him down on anything. Contribute a little more to the forum and then maybe you can put people down, since you seem to enjoy doing so. Scott, would love to see what you had in mind. Thanks. I'd love to hear what you say, then I'll draw my conclusions on the validity of what you have to say. Not the other way around. If everyone attacks before giving the opportunity to prove themselves, then this community would become a sad place. I would be interested, definitely. I would like to know how to rank a small business website to the first page instead of a listing site. Example search, hotels in Kansas City results, a load of sites that lists all of the hotels. How could you rank a hotel website one hotel above the list and commission sites that lists all of the hotels? I hope that makes sense. Spaxton 1 has written some valuable content so far, so I'll refrain from judging him. He's provided a lot more content than I. If he does turn out to be a flake, then at least we could learn from his damn good copy. Copywriting is writing copy for the purpose of, the copy is meant to persuade someone to a product, or influence their beliefs. Unless you are doing a thread on how to write effective copy, leave the copywriting for your sales pages, not the forum. I have seen posts where you leave the sales copy out, so I know it's not just your writing style. No one wants to feel like they are being sold to. It writes fantastic copy without the need of injecting it into his posts and doesn't need validation or likes or rep bank for providing value to the community. He simply receives it because it's blatantly obvious that it's selfless with nothing expected in return except taking action and getting the ice cream. Provide value through your contributions and expect or ask nothing in return. That's kind of how the big hitters roll around here. I'm one of them, yet. And they get a lot of respect for it. You're on a business forum where most people want to start online businesses. Do you need validation from people that would want to see your progress thread of building a business model around SEO? And so, the drama was created by your approach and your copy, in my opinion. It didn't come across as selfless. I think you have a lot to offer and that I'll learn a ton from you. I'm really excited to follow the thread if you go through with it. Would you do it on the outside forums or for the insiders? Threads usually occur on the inside. I'm newer to the forum and I joined because this is based on my favorite book and a lifestyle. I might be newer to the forum but not new to business. I want to hear what he has to say and see what he does to make this work. What he will do will provide. Of course he is a salesman, we all are. How do you create a successful business without selling skills? I'm sure people like myself are smart enough not to buy anything we don't want or need. I am here to learn, interact, share experiences with other fastlaners, not to open my account. It's obvious. He knew what type of forum this was before he got here. It's obvious most people want to see this. This is what we have been waiting for. See $1 million Fastlane business created from scratch. No matter how he does, there is something to take from it. If you have created $1 million Fastlane business, then you can see how someone does it differently. If you have a 6-figure business, maybe it will help you reach $1 million. If you have a 5-figure business, maybe it will help push you over the top. We knows. Either way, I want to see this happen. I know people want to protect this forum. There aren't many left like it. I read that someone was joking about starting a MLM business and people jumped on the bandwagon, which directly goes against the Fastlane rules. I won't be one of them and can think for myself. Let's do this. I will be watching and participating. I would read and follow along with your progress thread. You should do the progress thread because you want to. Just like the open market, if the progress thread is good, people will read it and comment. I don't think there's a need to ask people first. If you are doing this to help people, then one person reading your progress thread would be enough. Why does there need to be a certain amount of interest first? You already know that the thread would be helpful. How would it not be? I'd be interested in a lesson on affiliate traffic or media buys. He's doing a free progress thread, guys. Not sure why all the hate. I'll read it, sub, maybe even comment if I feel like I can add value to the conversation. For now, I'd love to see it. When does the progress start? There's interest. Looking forward to a progress thread. I walked away from my internet sites in 2011 totally not knowing what works in the SEO world. Setting up offline and only working on those sites. If you can help educate us on best practices, techniques, etc., I'm all in. Never a day goes by where some SEO company spoofing telephone number from California promising first page on Google with their special system. Never a day goes by that I don't try to sell them a no to get rid of unwanted hair. Spaxton 1, I've loved your posts so far, keep on speeding. Sir, I believe just like in business you'd encounter supporters and those questioning your intention, and with your experience I'm sure you've been dealing with them ever since. One big thing that I've learned in posts from the legendary contributors here is selflessly helping others by sharing their wisdom and knowledge. There are many newbies, me for instance, who are looking for opportunities to learn, and who knows, what you might share would change their lives forever. I hope you continue to share your knowledge in the SEO field, cause I'm also interested. The concerns are there, and I do thank everyone who shared their ideas, opinions and warning. I think everyone has the right to, and if there are pitches in the end, I'm sure the decision still rests upon each and every one of us. I don't know why everyone has to flame the guy when he's yet to try and sell something, and has had some decent threads. I used to be a sales guy for the #1 SEO company in Australia. They actually ranked for SEO for like 5 years in Australia. I know better than 99% of SEO guys out there how much the landscape has changed. But you know what? I still know guys ranking big keywords. Not many guys, like 5% of people that used to be able to rank still can. But there are still 10 organic slots on Google's search, and somebody has to hold them. Let's see what you can do, man. Would love a progress thread. You know how it'll go down if you try to sell, but if you don't, and you carry out a thorough progress thread, you'll be helping a lot of people out there. I know that personally I would be very grateful. I for one haven't found any actionable advice in anything he said. In all due fairness, he is entertaining as hell. That is a huge value in itself. Who doesn't like to hear stories that blow their wig back? Maybe everything he says about SEO is true. Maybe it is not. I don't know. I'd love to find out, but I'm not going to beg from someone that only has credibility based on an amazing unverifiable story. It may prove to be very true. The biggest takeaway I have so far is that the dude knows how to create a buzz very quickly. That's a huge plus in my book. But if having the ability to woo people is the only reference point I have, I'll wait to cast any kind of judgment. One thing I won't lie about. I'm super jealous of your presentation skills at. This is relevant to my interests, being that SEO pays my bills 100% and all. I'm also fairly skeptical, but I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt until I see otherwise. Seems like there is significant interest in getting this thread underway, so let's get things moving. I like Paxton One's posts, even though I feel like I'm being sold to. The 9 words was a very nice refresher that got me to go back through my ads and acts. Cough over 50% cough. I've sold a lot of SEO. I was probably either buying or selling links to you at some point in 2011 and 2012. I ended up eating shit and giving up, but it sounds like you were a lot smarter than me. All that to say, I'd like a solid SEO thread on this forum that I could contribute to and gain from, because I'm very strong in search and not so much at business. Yes, I would really like to see how you make money with SEO. I'm new to this and really would like to learn how to do it the right way. And someone like you with experience is for me the best person to teach it, because you already had success with your strategy. I've learned a lot from the guy thus far and his posts have added value. I'd be interested to see the stake behind the sizzle. Sounds like it may not happen, but learning SEO from someone who is apparently positioned themselves as an expert would be beneficial. It would allow us to weed through a lot of the crap out there today. It will be quickly found if he's full of crap, but honestly I don't see that being the case with this gentleman. You know, this is what happened back in Terrich Dad forum days. People would call guys who were legit BS and they would cease to contribute. Hence one reason we have this fantastic forum today. Not that it would not have happened anyhow. Hopes Paxton decides to do this B or C. I for one would love to hear how to utilize SEO in a real business model outside of the many great posters, i.e. Bioface, who've shared info like that before. Joe. Generally, when someone is that polarizing, it's because he doesn't give a fuck about what anyone thinks of him. That is massive character, and you don't build character out of nothing, so I'm already intrigued. I believe this guy can tell us a few things he has learned doing his craft. I'm totally in for the ride, although I still need to learn the basics. I'm doing right now, reading an introductory book about SEO. Go man, do it. Only if you have solid proof that what you're saying has worked for you. I mean results. I've looked at your website and see 16K of a hell of a lot of spammy backlinks. I'm not sure what advice you could provide that isn't already out there. Your original post was such air. It just reminded me of WSO style threads from that nasty forum. Edit, that may have sounded a bit harsh, but I mean, if you've created $1 million businesses with SEO like you said, then I'm sure you could have paid someone to produce a better video than the one recently posted on your site. I'm not sure if what you think you found is even one of my sites, but if so, it's impossible to judge a book by its cover. For example, I have a large portfolio of websites. In my account alone there are over 200 domains. In GoDaddy I average about $800 a month in renewal fees. Do the math. GoDaddy is primarily used for SEO purposes though. Taking 2 sites and assuming you know everything about me is ridiculous, especially since one has nothing to do with SEO rankings. Just because an older site has spammy links from years past doesn't really mean anything. If you were doing SEO a few years back, you would have done the same things if you wanted to be competitive. Did you notice that that site hasn't had any backlink building for over 2 years now? Yet somehow we still have a call center plus chat support to help our customers. Not all sites need SEO to survive. That one has strong membership base, and does well with offline referrals. As for the videos, not sure what you're talking about. We have a professional chroma key video studio and have created over 400 videos, screenshot. At one time I even had a full-time video producer working for me. On other sites we do both in-house videos, and have paid professionals to create them. We don't do our own whiteboard videos, those are all outsourced. Be careful about jumping to conclusions. My approach to SEO today is very different than what I did in the past. I run a lot of websites and have evolved over the years. I'm not here to get baits on the back, and I certainly don't need validation. Like many things in this world, a few ruin it for everyone else. I would definitely be interested in hearing about SEO techniques. I am just starting to do SEO and am a little overwhelmed with all of the options that I am seeing, especially when trying to hire it out. I'd find a thread on SEO quite helpful to check in on. That's a real shame, guys. I hope you're happy. This forum isn't like other SEO forums and IM forums. At least give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He's already provided value here more than some of the others bashing him. Do you guys remember when Jack Edwards first joined this forum? He didn't bother announcing to the forum about how great he was, how he was so smart at what he does, or how he made millions. He didn't need validation because he just jumped straight in and started posting quality stuff. Ever questioned who he was because his posts made it ridiculously obvious that he truly knew what he was doing in business? Same scenario for Zen. Hey man, I'm not asking you to show bank statements, how many sites you own, which sites you own, etc. I invite you to be like Jack Edwards or Zen and truly help others by spreading some real knowledge about the steps you took to build these million-dollar businesses. Or even better, do a progress thread like you mentioned earlier. You said you can show a repeatable process for creating million-dollar businesses. Seriously, if you can do that, then you will likely have the most viewed thread on the entire forum and no one will ever question you. You already know the demand is there and that if the posts are good quality, people will comment on it. At yawn. Just because you have a high rep bank on this forum doesn't mean jack. You'll get eaten alive in the real world. According to this post, you just quit your job last month and still haven't told your mom and dad about it. I definitely don't need you to coach me about the fast lane, nor should you be coaching anyone else about the fast lane until you're doing it yourself. As a guy who grew up having a lot of Asian friends, I can tell you this has nothing to do with character in the real world. This is the traditional Asian family as an institution. If you look around the forum deep enough, you will find Asian members reporting that it is looked down upon to be rich in their culture. Well, I had a nice phone convo with Ice Cream Kid and proceeded to secure $150K from investors in the last couple days alone. Something I didn't believe I was capable of until we spoke. Please, for the love of God. If you have million-dollar advice on SEO, why not drop 1% of it and establish a little social proof? Or you can continue to have people beg for it. Maybe that makes you feel good. If you dug around this forum long enough, you would see that the majority of people are skeptical about SEO because it seemingly violates nest.control. You never know what Google is going to do to change the way the algs work. Or do you personally know? Do you have it on good authority? Just add a poll and start the thread on the insiders when you reach 50 or 100 yes votes. More solutions. Less silly ass back and forth bickering. 4 pages wasted. Nobody knows your magic number of votes you need to hear before you start the thread. Of course there are interested folks. Of course there are naysayers. What else is new? This sounds good to me. I'd love to see Spaxton's process. We're all grown-up boys and girls here. If we think it's not so great, we can choose to ignore it. But why all the bickering pre-flop? I'm not going to read through the rest of the thread, just want to say I'm very interested. Show us, por favor, ignore the haters. That's a waste of energy and I am surprised that you haven't learned yet. I burned myself few times when trying to please or fight the haters. I would follow your thread since I almost have no idea about SEO. Contribute and do progress threads all you want. It seems like you have a lot to prove around here now, but don't come in here and within 3 weeks of joining the forum attack people that have been contributing for years. It's not how you make friends, dude. Etiquette, start the progress thread already. We're all here to learn and grow. Enlighten us. Or crap. Now you did it. Mate, I'm worried this is turning into a post from another forum. Put some pudding on the table, and chill. The only thing I have learned in this thread so far from you is how to be a drama queen. Put up or shut up. There is no question that there would be plenty of interest in your progress thread. This thread should be closed or just abandoned before it gets any worse. I was on your side up until the comments about that. Although he could have said it more gently, his point was correct. Focus on his last paragraph. I don't know where he's at personally, but I do know he's helped tons of people on this forum, myself included. You've posted some great threads so far and it looks like you have a lot to offer. I admit though that after reading your first post I was waiting for you to try to sell something. If you aren't just here to sell and you continue to make contributions, then people will realize your true intentions. I think we all hope that is the case. If you are trying to sell something, then I think it's pretty clear how that will go. So, 4 days after this thread was started, nothing really happened. Only arguments and drama. As someone who's been doing SEO quite a lot, I would be more than interested to learn more. Heck, if you're not open-minded person, you shouldn't be here at all. When you asked if there are people who would be interested, have you thought 100% would say yes, we are? Of course not. But yet, a big percent of them show interest. So, there you go. People are interested, not all of them but more than enough. You said you want to provide value, to show what's possible, then why don't you just do it? What's stopping you? I'm not trying to teach or anything here, I'm not a hater. Just start that progress thread already, and if it goes well, oh, well, the drama and the hate would stop. Don't do it to prove them wrong but to teach those who actually showed you they are interested. I don't see what's stopping you. If 3 clients give you negative feedback on your service or product, would you shut it down even though you have 50 other who like it? No. It's the same here, except that there's no payment for your knowledge, but that's what you offered. This thread, I don't think there's been this much drama since that crazy "I'm going to encourage my daughters to be gold diggers" disaster. 4 pages. 0 value. Thread closed. If someone not just Spaxton wants to post a progress thread, by all means go ahead and do it. There is no need to ask for permission. However, if your progress thread isn't actually a progress thread, but instead a covered sales pitch and or list building up, it will be shut down. There was a gal a couple of months ago who thought it would be a great idea to create a Fastlane Woman's Meetup. Great idea, right? I thought so too. Instead it was discovered there was no such meetup at all. Instead she was pre-selling women into her coaching program. A big no-no here at Fastlane, not just because it's tacky, but because your initial premise of contact is based on a falsehood. It seems the issue some people are having is that they feel they are being put into a sales funnel and not actually reading something educational, and something with real contributory intent. I for one, have enjoyed some of Ad's takes, although I must admit I haven't read everything. The market forces at the forum are the same for the real world. Post value and you are rewarded. Post crap and people don't buy, close browsers, or press back. Here, they just come out with pitchforks and torches. If you have something to post that is valuable, post it and let the market decide. Verb in reference to a particular guru. This is when you attend a conference, seminar, or workshop expecting to learn something. However, instead of being educated for the next 6 hours, you are instead groomed, cajoled, and upsold for 6 hours into buying a more expensive seminar while simultaneously being taught to increase your credit card limits so when the opportunity comes by, you will be ready for it.